Yesterday, Canon rumors said that the Canon EOS R5 Mark II will be announced ahead of the Canon EOS R1 in the next couple of months. I would think that puts us around April. Sounds great, right? But since then, the date has moved once again. The date's moved for the Canon EOS R5 Mark II, and the date's moved for the Canon EOS R1. And it's going to be much later than any of us had hoped. But before we get to the details, please subscribe to this channel. It doesn't cost you anything, helps this channel grow, and keeps you up to date on the latest camera coverage. Yesterday, Canon rumors said that the Canon EOS R5 Mark II will be announced ahead of the Canon EOS R1, and that it would happen in the next couple of months. I would think that puts us in and around April. Sounds great, right? But since then, the date's moved once again. The date's moved for the Canon EOS R5 Mark II and the Canon EOS R1. And it's going to be much later than we'd hoped. So when are we getting the announcement for the Canon EOS R5 Mark II and the Canon EOS R1? And when will they go on sale? Well, you're not going to like this, John R. The date for the Canon EOS R5 Mark II announcement, we've been told that the plan is to announce the Canon EOS R5 Mark II and the Canon EOS R1 at the end of April or early May. And this is where things get worse. And have the cameras available to photographers at both Euro 2024 in June and the Summer Olympics in July. Don't hate me. I don't make the news. I just report it. Initially, the Canon EOS R5 Mark II was supposed to be announced around CP Plus. That had many of us excited that we'd be able to have this camera in our hands soon, before spring, before the flowers start coming up and the animals start moving around, perfect for wildlife photographers and for that wedding season. And of course, 2 major sporting events. Now we're being told that not only the Canon EOS R5 Mark II, but also the Canon EOS R1 isn't going to get announced until late April or early May, and that they'll be available. And this is key in this quote here. Take a look. And have both cameras available to photographers. To photographers. That's code here. They're not talking about you and I, but specific invited or certain photographers that are going to be covering these events. When will they be available to you and I? Well, I'm afraid that's where this gets a little bit worse. Canon rumors goes further, stating both cameras likely won't go on sale until after both of these events, referring to Euro 2024 and the Summer Olympics. So that would likely put us into late Q3 or Q4 of this year. Late Q3. That would put us into August, or at this point, September. I mean, late Q3 is code for September, which would mean the last couple of weeks of September, because they're not going to do anything around Labor Day, around that back to school time. It's going to be late September into the fall season. So that's code for September, October. A little bit disappointing. I'm a little bit disappointed now. We don't even have any specs to lift our spirits, and that's a little bit devastating. And Gen X Tech Guy sarcastically said yesterday, what's shocking is this will be in the future. Maybe April, maybe May, maybe even 2025. R1, the camera that's always on the horizon, but never arrives. Yeah, the goalpost keeps moving, and not only is the R1 always on the horizon, but now it appears that the Canon EOS R5 Mark II is also on the horizon. And this kind of brings up another point. I've got some other information that might be a little bit uplifting in just a moment, but what seems to be going on here is, and we talked about this yesterday, is that the rumors for Canon products such as the R5 Mark II and the R1 and lenses seems to be constantly up in the air, constantly changing. And we've never seen this sort of back and forth where they're contradicting each other and then completely being wrong and getting a new set of, well, specifications or news that's completely different and far off from what we had before. This is something strange. I've been covering Canon rumors on this channel for over 4 years, 4.5 years now, and I've never seen this before. And prior to this, when I was just like you, buying camera gear and checking out rumor sites, I'd never seen this. Canon Rumors Northlight Images had always been, well, correct when it comes to posting information about Canon cameras, and they proved to be more or less true, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore, and that seems to be, the end result is that you, and me as well, are frustrated by what we see in the posts, and it leads us to just want to not watch or pay attention to any of these stories on websites such as Canon Rumors, Northlight Images, The Camera Insider, or even paying attention to videos like this one that I'm putting out, because we're just getting to the point where, well, you know what, this stuff isn't anywhere close to being correct. It's only frustrating me. What's the point of even watching? And I get it, and I know it's frustrating. I don't understand it. As I said earlier, I don't make the news, I just report it. But there is a slight bit of, well, a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel here. Zenscape wonders if Canon is still participating at CP Plus 2024. And yes, they will be. It looks like Canon's going to have a few non-EOS related announcements for that show. But unfortunately, Canon Rumors can't elaborate on the announcements. However, this is a good opportunity to draw your attention to a couple of camera registrations that we did get several weeks back. And usually when we have a camera registration, the announcement usually follows within 1 to 3 months after that. And based on the registration numbers, one of them is a stills hybrid camera, and the other one is a cinema camera with the ID prefix. Remember, keeping in mind that the R5C was ID 0159, and this is 0179, also ID. So those could be related to cameras coming out a little bit later, and maybe not at CP Plus, but it is possible that we could get some other cameras announced at CP Plus, because we do have those registrations. That is the only thing we really know at this point. And maybe we might be getting some lenses as well, because, well, Canon Rumors did mention yesterday that we are supposed to be getting some lenses. It would be really nice, especially if the R5 Mark II and the R1 are getting pushed into, well, for you and I, late Q3 or Q4. At least give us something to be happy about for the summer, for spring. Give us some lenses. Wow. So I don't think anyone's going to say that the thumbnail for this video is clickbait in any way whatsoever. This is very disappointing. This is very shocking. This is definitely an opportunity for a facepalm, and I share your frustration. I share your disappointment. I was talking to somebody else who has a major rumor site just yesterday, and Andrea Pizzini, he was telling me that he doesn't think there's going to be any major camera announcements in the first half, and that they're all going to get pushed into the end of the year. And at the time when I saw that, I kind of like, yeah, well, at least we'll have the R5 Mark II and the Canon EOS R1. Now it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. What happened? There's so much potential, so much hope for 2024. I mean, you've got your 1 series camera that's due to be released before the Summer Olympics, and it happens every year. And yes, to release it for certain photographers, that's great and all, but what about the rest of us? What about the Canon EOS R5 Mark II? Canon's missing a huge opportunity to get these cameras out in time for spring. Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed. Let me just see, is there anything else I missed out here? No. I don't have any good news to pull out of my pants pocket here. It is Wednesday. Hopefully we will get some sort of good news to at least tide us over. If these cameras truly are insane, as some have said, if they are game-changing, then hopefully we get some sort of specifications, because I know many of you are frustrated, very frustrated. And if we can get some sort of specifications to give us an idea of what these cameras are capable of, maybe it can turn that frown into a sense of anticipation that we're getting something really amazing. And I think that's what we kind of need to see next, some leaked specifications. None of these back and forth, well, it's going to be around 30 megapixels, or it's going to be 45 megapixels, or maybe even 85 or 102 megapixels. Something exact, something that we can use to forecast our spend for the year, because right now it's looking like my spend for 2024 is getting largely deferred into the second half, and my fiscal year end is at the end of September, which means I've got money to spend now, and otherwise I'm going to be paying an awful lot in taxes. So what am I going to spend that money on? well, are we getting announcements of lenses? Are we getting announcements of camera bodies? And it doesn't appear to be the case. But again, as we've seen with rumors over the past year, year and a half, that nothing seems to be coming out that's credible regarding these. And yesterday's news story from Canon Rumors was rated as a CR3, but today's story failed to garner a CR0, CR1, CR2, or even a CR3. And no, there's no CR4. It sort of caps off a CR3 as more or less being a fact. So at this point, as much as Canon Rumors has been very accurate in the past, all rumors and stories about the Canon EOS R5 Mark II and the Canon EOS R1 have been pants, at least when it comes to anything we've received in the last year or so. So at this point, I really don't know what to think other than it doesn't look like we're getting anything. No teaser, no development announcement, no nothing for either camera, the R5 Mark II or the R1 in time for CP+. But we do have 2 registered cameras, so who knows? Who knows what we'll get. But share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Don't be afraid to rant. Share your frustration among friends, and hopefully we'll have better news for you in the coming days and weeks. One other detail, apparently only 30% of you are actually subscribed to this channel, so please do me a favor and go ahead and hit that subscribe button, but also follow me on X. One other thing I should draw your attention to is right now, if you're getting tired of waiting for the Canon EOS R5 Mark II and you're interested in the Canon EOS R1, it's currently on sale. There's one package at Adorama for $29.99. That includes a 128 gigabyte CF Express card, as well as a card reader. And of course at B&H, you also see the Canon EOS R5 on sale for right around $29.99 as well, but you don't have the same package. Both B&H and Adorama offer incredible deals, and if you're interested in purchasing through either of those two, please use my affiliate links down below. I also have my affiliate links for Amazon.com, so in addition to B&H and Adorama. And if you do use those links, I get anywhere from 2 to 12% back, which really does help support this channel. It allows me to buy new upcoming cameras like the EOS R5 Mark II and the R1, which keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed. But I'm hoping to buy at least the R5 Mark II this year, as well as a few lenses, if they actually come to the marketplace. Oh, sorry, I seem a little bit like you, a little bit frustrated this morning, a little bit disappointed. This is big news, but not in a good way. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a great week, and we'll see you again soon.